Good morning, afternoon, friends. This is Tracy Brown, your somatic nutrition therapist and attuned eating expert. And I'm so grateful for all the feedback and all the comments on Monday's video about the ideas around what intuitive eating can and can't do for us at the different seasons of recovery. So I hope you go back and watch the replay of Monday's video. I think it was a good summary one to understand the emotional depths of what's going to happen when you stop dieting, restricting, binging, all the things, right? Or when you work on creating other strategies to feel the feels in life and have more of a home inside yourself. So today we're going to talk about specifically the food. So it's really tricky. You would think if somebody gave you permission to eat, like there was a whole system, let's say, of somebody's like, you know what? Dieting is causing all this weight regain. It's making you less emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually well, that we should just stop doing that and actually go back to the way that we're designed to be, which is to eat when we're hungry, stop when we're full, not really overthink it, have a variety of foods so you learn about what food, works best for you to keep all the gears greased, basically, and move in a way that's not obsessive. That sounds pretty great. That's how we were born to be. But of course, we have this systemic yucky issue around people liking to feel like they're better than others via what they look like. And here we are today. So I think it's really important to recognize that if it was just about stopping dieting, not binging, everybody would have done that. But the issue is when you decide, like, you know what, I'm not going to count calories, I'm going to throw away my fitness pal, I'm going to do all that stuff. That's been a container of how you have known to feed yourself probably for a long time, maybe just 6 months, maybe even 6 years, maybe even 60 years. And now you're going to be left with, like, I don't know what it is I'm actually feeling inside. And if we don't have the education about how the body works when it's been either in a chaotic eating situation or it's been in a basically biological milieu for a long time of undernourishment, that you can't really just expect your body to eat normally. It's going to need renourishment. And in the business here, we call this basically eating rehabilitation, food and rehabilitation. It takes a lot of fuel to heal all that malnutrition. And people say, what do you mean? Like, people wouldn't think I look malnourished. Okay, so that's our fat phobia talking, right? And that's not your fault. But bodies and cells and everything inside of ourselves requires fuel, requires nutrition to run at top notch, basically what it can do based on where we are in our life. And if that's been damaged, that has to be repaired. So we have to eat probably more than we think we need to get back to homeostasis. So that's one way in which intuitive eating isn't really applicable. What we really need at the beginning is to make sure that we have a container with which to know how to eat enough. Most people undereat even when they're trying to do intuitive eating. That's just always been my experience with clients, is that if your interoceptive awareness has been atrophied, all that means is, like, if my ability to know what is a hunger cue has gone away because I haven't eaten based on hunger, I've eaten based on food rules for 20 years, I'm kind of not gonna know what an accurate signal is anyway, even if I have accurate signals. Accurate signals go away when you're in a stress response. So if your body's been in a stress response from chaotic eating or restrictive eating, those signals get a little off too, and you're gonna be feeling more fight or flight or freeze or please body sensations than actual biologic hunger. So that's why it's so important that if you try to do intuitive eating and you're like, I can't tell when I'm full, I keep overshooting or undershooting, and I've been doing this any significant amount of time, my recommendation is not to wait too long to get support, to have somebody have another set of eyeballs on your food and help you relearn the language of body sensations and signals and separating out what is all the parts of us that have an opinion about what we need to be doing about food versus our biologic reality. All right, so that's really important, because sometimes when we read things or listen to things, the nuance isn't always there, or even just like somebody helping you be outside of yourself as a witness to help you feel what you're feeling and explain what's happening And then we can have like, oh, okay, that feels right. And then you have something new to trust. Because eating and living in a body is such an embodied, physical, tangible experience. What our brains can know isn't the same thing as our felt sense. And if you're struggling with a felt sense of what's going on, and we don't know, maybe we've got all different kinds of traumas. We don't know that we're having a different part of us like giving us information about what it is we should be feeling. It can be very confusing. So to wrap up this video, it's really important to recognize that it's not out of lack of knowledge that sometimes people struggle and feel like they should be able to figure it out. It seems like because we're born to eat from hunger and fullness and eat normatively, that it should be kind of easy. But the truth is, if you've been disembodied from that experience for a really long time, we actually first have to relearn we actually learn to see what our experiences are and not blended with other stuff, and then be able to name these accurately. That's a lot of times where people get stuck. So I hope this video makes sense. I hope it makes sense of maybe your journey if things have been feeling stuck. If something is feeling stuck emotionally, go back to video on Monday, because we talk a little bit more about that there. So today was a very food-specific video around sometimes we need more containment to actually be able to learn how to eat from accurate signals on hunger and fullness. For some people, just eating the food and feeling your way through it, and it doesn't cause too much distress, that's totally a great way to do it. That's not a problem. But for some of us, the lack of containment and knowing where my edges are and what these sensations are so terrifying that, of course, we bounce back to wanting to like go back to something we know that contains the emotion of not having a felt sense of okayness or safety inside. So that's usually what we bump into when we start trying not to diet. So I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, any nuances I missed, I'm sure I did, please reach out, put them in the comments below, send me a message, email me. It's all good. I'm happy to help. So thank you so much for watching, and we will talk about some more nuance on Friday. Thank you, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.